back on our own timeline. It's time to continue the plot this time.
Woo.
Sort of.
Yay? Maybe.
What was the context of having the flashback in the first place?
It's DLC, so...
So, can you do that mission before the time skip, and it will happen in the right time?
It didn't appear for me, so I imagine it just is programmed to start there.
It might be that way just because it's the remastered version, because they don't want to dump all the DLC on you at once.
Yeah,
But
so yeah. Here's the woman we got the letter for that initially caused the entire problem in the first place. She doesn't care anymore.
Wow. Dick.
Yeah. Very dumb, but it is what it is.
So she's just being an asshole because the world sucks now?
Well, more like she found a different boyfriend, so...
Oh, okay.
well, it has been a year. From her perspective, she must have been thinking, well, where the fuck did that gravity woman go? She just forget about getting my letter for me? Jesus Christ, what a bitch.
I think people would be more worried about the fact that nobody's stopping the random monster. Oh, well, the military's stopping them now, right? Okay.
It is an interesting twist. I like when games have these kind of twists where the entire dynamic of the game world changes. Like, the biggest example for me would probably be the World of Ruin in Final Fantasy VI, which was a really cool idea, where the guy you thought was the main bad guy up until that point gets overthrown by his comedy sidekick, and the entire world gets, like, screwed, and there's, like, how many years did it skip forward? 1 or 2 or something?
Just one.
Just 1
Yeah,
year?
just 1
Yeah,
year.
it was a 1 year time
Yeah.
skip. And, yeah, that was a really interesting turn of the game. Not least because it started you out as a character that wasn't even remotely cast as a protagonist character up until that point.
No, Celis felt like one of the protagonists.
She felt like one of the important supporting characters, but none of the story beats up until that point was necessarily focused on her point of view.
No, not yet. Anyway.
Yeah, she didn't take over on the main camera spot until the change to the World of Rowan. So that story handled so many things in such interesting ways that it's hard to believe that it was a Super Nintendo game sometimes.
In many ways, Octopath Traveler does kind of feel like that. I don't know if I don't think you've had a chance to play it, but definitely the separate stories, like the
yeah, it's kind of, I get that idea, I get that notion, but it's doing them sort of as separate story modes, isn't it?
not
not really.
It's complicated.
It draws like a very clear narrative division between different characters and their different
Yeah,
adventures.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
you can start with any
Whereas,
character you want, you recruit them, and then when it's Ulboric Chapter 1, the game says Ulboric Chapter 1, and stuff
which is what I'm talking about. It's very clear about being a story that has multiple protagonists. But Final Fantasy VI was a single linear story that didn't limit itself to a single protagonist, which is unique, especially for a video game. I mean, you might see that kind of stuff in a novel, and sometimes in movies, but not to this kind of extent, and video games tend to focus on one main character a lot of the time because, well, that gives your player character a point of focus to experience the world through, so it's kind of an easy way to do things.
The only games that I can think of off the top of my head that don't really do that kind of thing are Sonic Adventure, which when you do that in a kind of in a platformer, then you not only lose focus in terms of narrative by having multiple characters, multiple gameplay styles, but in terms of something like some of the Call of Duty games have you play as technically different people.
Well, there are a lot of games with separated campaigns where you focus in on one character for a length of time.
Yeah, but I think some of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare games, I think, like, you play a different character. Maybe not necessarily every mission, but every couple of missions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're working for the military now in the side story DLC thing.
Cool. I guess. Kat does not belong in the military, but whatever.
Okay, for some oddball reason, anime loves to have very cute, delicate-looking military girls. I don't understand it, but it's something that happens a lot of the time. So
The
you say
mili-
Kat doesn't belong in the military, but like, okay, we just seen two other people who look like the same thing she is right now.
Well, it's not, well, I more mean because of the way you act, because when you're in the military, your sass is usually beaten out of you in boot camp, pretty much. Or you
Yeah,
get
so are
fired
your
and go home.
smiles. But dispatcher over here is still grinning like an idiot. Also, this other girl just looks like an angry version of Kat, so
She is an angrier version of Cat.
yeah. Ugh.
Wait, does she have gravity? Oh, no, they have the
She has the
jetpacks, okay.
Yeah.
It's
But,
kind of
Well, that's cheating.
it's kind of just a trope in anime that perplexes me, because like you're gonna have all these like really super cute, happy-go-lucky women who are still really skinny and happy-go-lucky, even though they survived military training, presumably. You'd think they would have hardened a little bit, but no, I guess not.
You don't gain any muscle mass when you go through boot camp, Lewis. That's silly.
Yeah, now I'm thinking of Mass Effect, where there's exactly one male body type and one female body type. So all the military women are skinny as sticks, and all the office men look like they lift 2,000 pounds for 50 reps a day. It's kind of like when you're playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and everyone
Commissioner Gordon
has
is
Batman's
huge.
physique. Commissioner Gordon is huge.
Yeah, why do they
Until,
even need Batman if the standard cops are that jacked? Well, I mean, they don't have money or batarangs.
I think literally
I
everyone
guess.
does have the same base model for that game. It's the only real jarring.
Everyone
thing
except the Joker.
yeah, except the Joker. Yeah.
It's like you can tell he's
Well,
an
no,
asshole.
no.
And Joker makes up for it later in the game.
Yeah, yeah. You see, he ends the game so jacked that he averages out to mostly jacked throughout the entirety.
Yeah, you see, that's why he wanted the Titan formula, because he was just muscle envious of everyone else in the universe.
I want to be big.
What? Lift weights? Who do I look like? Killer Croc Batman? How do they get these on the side of the buildings?
They just do.
Yeah, but how?
Find the source of the yell. Whoops.
So, I was not paying attention. Why are we joining the military?
To more or less find out what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Again,
what
this
the
is
hell?
a side thing, so you don't have to actually do it.
So we're just doing it for the outfit.
Yeah, basically. Nice of the military separate to include the outfit you wear. Yeah, we have to help this guy out.
This is,
Recruit, your entire conversation is being recorded on the intercom, so we know exactly what's going
Yeah,
on.
why couldn't you just radio for help?
Because he's embarrassed, I guess.
the thing about this
Yeah,
is
he
that
is.
I'm pretty sure even the military isn't stupid enough to, think the way this guy's thinking. In fact, I'm pretty sure he would be directly reprimanded for it.
Again, it depends on how evil the military is. If they're very evil, then no, they're not that stupid. If they're mostly good, then yeah, they might be. The smartness of the military is inversely proportional to the goodness of the military.
Yeah, she has like 6 ear piercings. No, it's 5 ear piercings in her ear.
Oh, now there's actual Nebby to take care of.
Wow, you guys suck at your
Where's your
jobs.
military now?
I thought the military took care of everything, huh? Huh?
Oh dear.
That should not let them fly with the way those wings are.
Maybe they have gravity manipulation powers too.
No, only we have that. We're the main character.
No, Raven has them.
No, technically the
Well, she's
the cat
the
does all the work.
she's our maybe love interest rival. We hate her, but also love her character. She's allowed. But normal mooks, pshaw.
Where did you get maybe love interest from?
Because there's probably 60,000 fan fiction already out there. So
Yeah, but they don't actually have to have anything to do with each other in that sense for that fan fiction to exist.
I don't know. They can be them shippers can be very convincing at times.
No, they can't. No,
Yeah,
they're terrible. They're terrible writers.
Okay, that's a good point.
I have a little bit more personal experience with this kind of writing than I would like, because I actually do try to find good fan fiction on a fairly regular basis, and that means swimming through an ocean of bad fan fiction on a regular basis. So
I mean, at the same time, I'm glad that they're actually able to write stuff, because my efforts at writing these past couple of weeks have been me banging my head against the keyboard, not being able to get anything down.
Okay. I would totally be down with that sentiment if every time someone criticized these kind of people, they didn't snap at you for taking things too seriously. They'll legitimately use the excuse, this is fan fiction, not a novel, to answer any writing criticism at all.
Okay, so that's... On one hand, yes, it is fan fiction and not a novel, so...
Yeah.
Granted, but that's not the... Okay, you see, I'm torn about this because, no, that's not the mindset you should have when you're writing. At the same time, they might just be writing it just so that they don't have to think about it. Like, they might be writing it just because they want to write smut or whatever, and that's also fine, but you also, in that case, shouldn't be a dick about it, too. So, yeah, my brain's all over the place on this one.
It's not like I make super literary English major criticisms of things. I'm not an English major. I consider myself pretty much self-taught when it comes to writing and reading.
Oh, no, they don't. They honestly, the way schools teach you to write is not a good way to.
It's not
write.
conducive to actual writing at all.
No, it's not. Unless if you're writing for academics.
The problem with the way schools teach you how to write narratively is that they're always about a generation behind on how writing tends to work. Writing it evolves just as much as, say, filmmaking or video game design evolves. The way we write suspense now is not the way we wrote suspense 20 years ago. You know? The way writing voice comes out in the narrative is different than it used to be. We regard children's fiction differently than we used to, and the way adults enjoy fiction has changed in connection to the way children's fiction has changed, in fact. So what's a good way to write for a given audience isn't even the same as it used to be. It's kind of So yeah, I guess I just wish writing classes would take that kind of stuff into account.
Really,
But
the
they
stuff,
don't.
as opposed, granted, you do have to teach people basic grammar and crap, but in terms of, more advanced stuff, I wish that writing classes were more about teaching you how to be more creative as opposed to writing the way the teacher likes things to be written, you know?
Yeah, unfortunately, English is a lot of less what you think and what would work for you. It's what does the teacher want you to do.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not taught very... I mean, granted, a lot of subjects aren't
Wow.
taught any
Okay,
well,
I went
but
along with this tangent just because it's one that I have things to say about. But then I realized, wow, we're talking about writing classes over footage of a cute girl in a military uniform falling through the air sideways to fight evil shadow monsters. What are we doing with our lives?
the writers of Gravity Rush had a really bad... well, I guess they're Japanese,
did it,
so
guys.
Japanese teacher. And then...
It took us close to 10 years, but we finally got Lewis to utter the words, "What are we doing with our lives?"
You've been
I
trying
mean,
to do
he
that this whole
decided.
time?
Well, he decided to join me.
I mean, honestly, I've always known that this is just a place for me to dick around. So, that's what I'm doing. I don't know about you guys.
Thanks.
Hey,
Hey, you're welcome.
but But there's shinies over there, right? Oh, no, never mind.
I have to save the civilians.
They're fine. I don't think they can even get hurt.
So that I can get them to pay me.
Nate, do you know how much soldiers get paid? The answer is not a lot. So it's not even really worth it in that sense.
Getting a lot of Ghostbusters vibes from this soundtrack.
Wait, hold on. I've got the audio muted. Let me.
It's their generic little bad stuff is happening.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely get Ghostbusters. It's all the creepy woos and I don't even know what word that instrument even is, but yeah. Like, well, I mean, I guess it does make sense because, God, Dana was floating multiple feet off the floor, and Cat's doing that right now. So,
But cats learn how to weaponize it.
The kid
didn't Zool know how to do that too?
Okay, the way that little girl is flailing about in the air kind of makes.
Oh no, her hips should be broken. Yeah,
it kind of makes me ill. And
we also just smacked her face against a floating submarine, so she should also be dead.
Well, she's not, so there.
Also, her nose is remarkably fucking small.
No, she's also really small, so.
That was
So the girl was talking about, oh, the gravity girl went away, and she was literally getting pulled through the air through gravity, and didn't realize.
Well, she's a little kid. She has an excuse to be stupid.
I mean, I suppose.
As we all know, all little kids are incredibly stupid.
No,
well,
they
just
are
kind of.
It's not really being stupid. It's just they don't have information, which is there's a difference. Like, they just think differently.
I know that's the joke.
I'm sorry, audience. You're not stupid. I know you're all 12.
I mean, he's not entirely wrong based on our, analytics.
You see, it makes me shocked and sad that there are probably people who watch BrainScratch who are younger than the channel itself. I
may not go that far, but
well, no, there's an 8-year-old
Dude,
watching BrainScratch comms. Of course there is. 8-year-olds, make sure you get your parents' permission before going online.
At the same time, though, I see what, like, I see what my cousin watches when he's over to visit, or when I'm over to visit my cousin's house. And I was like, BrainScratch is probably better. Because I'd rather not be watching these people who, like, are so fucking obnoxious about this and that. And
Like, we're not obnoxious, John?
no, I mean...
Video
hard
on topic. First 2 minutes are spent, hey, welcome to blah blah blah. Like that subscribe button, blah blah. Here's the new merch in the store.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You want to know? Okay. So, when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, I wanted to look up something about Pokepelago. It was something stupid, like what happens when you get it up to a certain level or whatever. And every video I saw was like 5 minutes long, and it took them 3.5 minutes to actually talk about Pokemon. Because they were like, hey guys, it's your boy, in the swooshy intro. Okay, make sure that you smash that subscribe button, like, comment, and rate 5 stars. Post a video response.
Yeah, I'm big on a video having to get straight to the point, like, as soon as possible.
We say 18 and 52 seconds into a video where we were talking about English classes over footage.
No, you see, the point of
a
BrainScratch
cute girl in a
is
military uniform falling sideways into dark shadow monsters.
the point of BrainScratch is that there is no point. So we have that loophole there so we can get away with it, because
what you're saying is we're Seinfeld.
Yeah,
we're
now
the
smash the hell
Seinfeld
out of that like
for
button
the new generation.
Sure. Now, if we just say that about ourselves, does that mean we get paid Seinfeld tier money?
No.
I wish.
Aw. It was worth asking.
I can't wait to get my BrainScratch royalty check.
Maybe 30 years down the line when we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, because it's one of those rules where you have to have at least $100 in revenue before they send it to you. So, yeah, you're gonna be waiting a little bit on that one, buddy.
Where will BrainScratch be in the next 10 years?
Let's find out.
Yeah. Make sure you smash that like button to find out.
Well, you see, you'll find out 7 years from now that it was all a dream, and then 15 years after that, they'll reboot BrainScratch comps before it gets
so it's like
taken off the
Dallas.
air again after like a one-season revival. You know,
Okay.
I mean,
Thanks for introducing Unica to us. That was okay.
We did it. We saved the day.
I like how this military is so welcoming that we're allowed to keep our pet with us.
Well, I think
Wow.
she explained that she needs the cat.
It is kind of the source of our superpowers.
So, are we part of the military for forever now, or
No, not after the end of the next military side DLC thing.
oh, do we get dishonorably discharged?
You'll have to wait and find out.
Okay.
Yeah.